Hello, so this is my video number 5, and compared to yesterday, like I'm still sick, and I'm laughing, or I'm very amused because I just watched that video where basically sleep saviors do this thing where they have to start off a video saying I'm under the weather or I'm feeling sick or just their crummy state, and it blew my mind because I've already done that 2 times. I think in my second video and my fourth video, I basically start off the video saying like I'm really tired today, or I'm under the weather today, and I couldn't help it but to do it today too. And um what a weird thing. And so I'm trying to process that. Why do I have to start off every video saying that I'm sick or whatever? And I think I think the reason that I do it is because I know that I'm already such a low energy person to begin with, that I need to somehow justify or explain the fact that I'm even more spacey or whatever it is. It's almost like I'm apologizing in advance for my state, if that makes sense. And that is such a crazy observation. I never thought about that, but that I can't I can't even begin to tell you how many times in the past I've done that, where I've gone to like a meeting or like a even just meeting up with someone for coffee, and the first thing I'll say is I'm so sorry, like I've been really sick, so if I seem disengaged, or and it's like I pre-apologize for that all the time, and I use that to set up the stage so that they kind of know what they're getting into, and that I basically not have like an excuse, but they're aware that I may not be on top of my game. And I think that's what it is. It's like I have such awareness that I am not gonna bring that energy even more so than usual, and so I feel like I have to justify that. And that is so crazy. I'm still kind of freaking out about that, because so the guys that typed my videos, I got my results, by the way, which I can't wait to talk about. Anyway, but before I got my results, he mentioned something about me being a double masculine sleep. And of course that really pissed me off when I first heard it, because I don't want to be I don't want to be double masculine sleep. That's like hardcore sleep mopey energy. And in my ideal world, I have the energy and the just, I don't know, like I'm able to sort of keep up with the playful energy, but clearly I'm not. And so I really resisted that when I first heard it, that I was a double masculine sleep. I was thinking like, no, fuck you, like no way. But I get it. I get it now. I get it. And it makes so much sense why I've always been just so low energy compared to most other people. And, even in my last video, I talked about how uh, things are so overwhelming to me, like going to the beach or going hiking or doing these types of outdoor activities. And yeah, maybe it's not because I'm necessarily overwhelmed by the packing and transportation and all of that. It's I'm basically sleep energy. I'm just a low energy person to begin with, so I that's just my natural state, is I'm very low energy. And that's something I'm gonna have to continue to process. And yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But I guess that's what's so fun about OP, is that it's really shaking up absolutely everything that I've learned in Myers-Briggs. And like, I don't know, there's a part of me that loves that. Like for me, when I don't know, when I watch a movie, or even when I'm watching real life drama unfold, like the crazier the twist, the more amused I am. And so I think that this is another one of those situations where I can't believe what is coming out of this typing, as far as my own identity. And so um, I guess in that sense, like there was a part of me that was kind of embarrassed about some of the things that I said in the last 4 videos, because I don't know, I'm probably gonna look back on those videos and think to myself, oh God, cringe, like I can't believe I said that, and I said it so confidently, and people are probably rolling their eyes thinking like, well, clearly that's her demon, or I'm starting to become aware of that right now. But in a sense, I'm actually kind of happy that I started recording my journey with typing, because I can actually go back and watch these videos and kind of on a day-to-day basis just watch my own wheels start spinning, and that's pretty cool. So um, if you are also getting started on your OP journey, I highly recommend, like even if you're not posting it on YouTube, like you should definitely document your journey, and just watch your own mind start breaking things apart, and it's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm still like freaking out about it. Okay, so next I wanted to tell you guys the type that they came back with, and it blew my mind. I'm still very unsure if they got it right. And in fact, when they told me, I even responded back and I said, huh, like I'm really shocked. I'm still processing this. If you have the reasonings and you know the examples and the whys of how you guys came up with this, like can you guys please share it with me, because I'm really interested in learning, and like I want to know, you know. And I even sent them back one of my videos and I said, I'm not sure if this will change anything, but here's like a few more videos I did, you know, as though like maybe they were missing information, or my videos were just an incomplete or inaccurate assessment of me or something. So anyway, setting the stage, the type that they came back with, which again, I don't know if I believe it or not, but I'm going to consider it. I'm going to keep an open mind to it. So they came back with MF, SIFI, what the fuck? Sleep, consume, blast, play. I can handle the sleep, consume, blast, play. Like I see that very clearly now. I thought that I might be consume first, but again, it's like with your saviors and demons, it's stuff that you can't see, and then the ones in the middle are the stuff that's like going well and that you have pretty good visibility over. And so of course I would say that I was consumed first, because you know, like to me, I feel like I'm always consuming and learning um and all of that. But yeah, I sleep first makes so much sense. So that makes me like an ultimate mope, right? Not only am I sleep consume first and like blast play last, but I'm apparently double masculine sleep savior. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I wanted to talk about the SIFI. What? This whole time I thought that I was a FINE. I'm still clinging on to that. I feel like I'm an introverted feeler first of all, and then extroverted intuition supporting that, you know, like that is how I see myself. But to know that, you know, whether this is true or not, to know that I am perceived as a SIFI is like blowing my mind. So my savior is introverted sensing. What? It it's really like I wish I had like an outline or something of how I was going to approach this, but I'm just going off the cuff. And so I know I'm just kind of like pausing and reacting, but yeah, it's hard for me to talk about because first of all, I feel like I don't understand enough about SI to even say, oh yeah, that is probably right or not. I'm still learning, and from what I know, Savior SI is is all about like the way you organize information inside, right? And I guess you approach things by understanding like every little tiny building block that goes into it, if I understand that correctly. And I guess that is very like me, where I will want to do something like completely and thoroughly, like down to the nooks and crannies, or not at all. And I can kind of see that. And in my past videos, I said that I was very if this then that, and I can see now how maybe that is a very SI trait. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm still processing it. Yeah, if you guys have any like more information on like lead or savior SI, I'd really like to know. Unfortunately, I looked at the spreadsheet that has all 512 types, and again, unfortunately, there is not anyone on the sheet yet that's typed as a MFSIFI SCBP, which they typed me as. But there was someone who was kind of close, and so mine would be um, masculine feminine, but there was someone with my exact type that was flipped with feminine masculine as their sexual modality, and that person's name was Candice Neistat. And first of all, that's really weird because we have the same name. And it's even more weird because our names are spelt the same, because Candace is usually spelt with Candace. So ICE is very unusual. And I've only met like a handful of people in my life who were also named Candace with an I. And so like that was super trippy. And I had no idea who she was. So I had to look her up. And then I realized she was this like massive, I don't know, YouTube presence or something. And I, yeah. And then I showed her to my husband, and he said, "Oh, is that Casey's wife?" And I don't know. I don't know who either of them are, but apparently they're like very famous YouTube people. And now she has like some kind of jewelry business, and she's doing really well. Um, and I watched her interviews, and it kind of freaked me out because we were very similar. Um, I don't get it. I don't get it because an SIFI is really an ISTJ who's jumping functions. And like I know I'm coming from the Myers-Briggs world, so I have in my own head what I imagine an ISTJ to be, but like, dude, that is the last one I want it to be. And but maybe I guess that's everyone's journey, is that you don't like your type that you end up being. But like, holy crap, like ISTJ, like in my head, that is like the most like serious and dry and sensory, and I know that's a very Myers-Briggs stereotype. I'm not really looking at it from like a function perspective. And I'm sure that me jumping functions from SI to FI like really shakes it up too. Yeah, but like ISTJ, what? That's so weird. So anyway, I was watching the interviews with Candice Neistat, and I have to say, like, we're pretty similar. It's weird. It was kind of like watching myself do an interview where she's very like decisive and kind of quirky. And she's decisive about the things that she likes and doesn't like, right? Which me all day long. Like, I love this, I love that. If you love this, there's like then like nothing is work if you love it, and like you're gonna go all in and you have no choice. And that's exactly how I feel too. But even down to the way she would tell her stories, like if she was asked a question that required a story, she would immediately go into it by saying, well, when I was a kid, like my mom did this and that and this, and then I had an accent until this age. And she's also obsessed with, like describing things as colorfully as possible so that the person on the receiving end is like not lacking any detail of what to imagine. And I get it. I get it. It's so weird. It's so weird. um but I will say that watching her interviews, like there's so much similarity, right? Like even the fact that, she's pretty like goofy and awkward and kind of owns that. And also I noticed that in a lot of her clips, she's very unpolished. Like her hair is kind of frizzy and messy, and um I guess I'm kind of like that too. I mean, I thought for so long that I was like the opposite, that I would obsess and over fuss about these types of things, and then because it was a new situation or experiment in my life where I just wanted to focus on blasting, I was like, like letting go of curling my hair or doing my makeup, just in an attempt to get this out. But you know what? That's just what I think I do for my Instagram account, right? It's not like if you met me in everyday life, like I'm 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 like that. Like I like to wear like the same shirt all the time because it's my favorite shirt. Or I'll just go through these stages in my life where when you see me, I will always look the same. I have like a character or a persona where I have, like the same like long cardigan and beanie and hair clip, and I just like I have my favorite things that I'm comfortable with, and that's like what I'll wear all the time. And it really is like comfort and nostalgia, and I guess that is very SI. And I don't know, like for all of you other lead SI people, like did you guys also grow up and you were really really picky about food? Maybe this is a SIFI thing, but like I was the pickiest kid ever. And I just like did not like to try new things. I only wanted to eat what I liked. And my poor parents, like, they just could not ever get me to eat vegetables or eat new things because I didn't want to. And I wasn't one of those kids where if you told me, if you have to stay at the dinner table until you finish all your vegetables, like I would literally just park my ass there, curl up on the seats, like push all the seats together and just curl up for the night because I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it. And so I was always that kid that was like super super picky. And it's funny because I thought, like who cares, like if that's what I like, then like why can't I live my life that way? But the first time that I ever encountered problems with that, and okay, and by the way, it also like never really bothered me that when I would go out to eat with people, like if I yank out the cucumbers or the tomato or whatever it was, like it didn't really bother me because I can, go to any restaurant and order anything and then just work around it by yanking out the things that I don't like, right? But it never really occurred to me that, it's overly like rude or weird or anything like that. Like, I don't know, I'm completely like unaware of that. But the first time that I really like um struggled with that or came into conflict because of that was my husband. He is so intolerant of that type of behavior that we used to literally get into like fights and like arguments like about the fact that I only eat the things that I want to eat, and that I won't try anything new. And like, I remember it blew my mind because I was thinking like, why does that even matter? Like, why does that bother you so much? Like, why don't you just eat the things that you like to eat, and I eat the things that I like to eat? And like, I, it, I think for both of us, we were so bewildered by each other's behavior because I couldn't understand why he was so mad about it. Because like, just let people be happy, right? Like, I don't understand. But to him, it was such childish behavior that I couldn't just eat food that, you know, everything on my plate was obviously edible, and it costs money, like, or someone made it. Like, I guess there's a lot more behind the meal than just what's there and me eating it, right? Like, I think he's kind of seeing it as like it's rude to the overall situation, or you know, I'm like, I'm wasting the experience because we're at an expensive restaurant, and instead of eating what the chef intended as like one cohesive meal, I'm picking things out and just doing what I want. And so I think that's kind of the approach that he is coming from. So I can't tell you how big of an issue that has been in our relationship, which I still think is kind of funny. And the kind of the result of that has been that I have open myself up to eating new things. And it's not really because I want to, it's more because I got tired of being yelled at for it. And so I just kind of, you know, just I would hold my breath and just eat stuff. So now I can eat something like, for example, with carrots in it without pulling it out. And I don't like it. I still don't like it, but like I'll eat it because I don't want to deal with like being lectured about it, I guess. And the more work I do on like self-growth, I do kind of see that type of behavior, and I think, you know, maybe I should do something about it, right? And there's also that part of me that like if I went to someone's house and they made something for me, like there's no way I was gonna be like, oh, actually I'm not gonna eat that. Like I'm always very conscious of that. So if anything, I would just like hold my breath and eat it real fast and like wash it down with, you know, coffee or whatever. And that was that. But I guess that is something that I need to do more, is to be more comfortable with new things and new experiences. And that makes sense why I'm so adverse to just outdoor experiences. um Even travel to me is kind of overwhelming, right? Because it's new, like you're going to a new place, and I get that that's the whole point. The whole point is to experience something new and immerse yourself in that culture. But to me, it's like, I do like the known. I do. Huh. This is so weird. And I I can see this behavior now. Like, I'm the type of person that if I have a favorite book, I want to read it over and over and over again. If I have a favorite movie or a show, I want to watch it over and over and over again. And it's because I want to experience those same feelings. And um I think I get it now. I get it. So, yeah, I think, okay, I get it, but there's still a part of me that's resisting it. But then there's still another part of me that's like, I should probably, you know, get a second or third or fourth opinion, because I still don't fully trust that they were able to assess me from a series of short videos where I am just kind of awkwardly trying to answer their questions, you know? Uh, So this has been really, really interesting. And again, I'm so glad that I've been documenting everything. And is that another SI thing where I keep talking about the same things? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, and the whole like save your sleep thing is so interesting. And I love that they showed all the clips of is it Markiplier on YouTube, and there's just clip after clip after clip of him saying, hey guys, I'm really sick today, or oh, I'm under the weather today, or and to the point where it became a meme. And like Oh man, that's so crazy. That's so weird. I would have never thought that like that type of behavior was like consistent, you know, with a certain animal. And it's so weird. And now that I'm aware of it, I feel like I want to stop doing that because it is kind of annoying, but I also know that it's something that I'm unaware of, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. Like I'm always gonna apologize in advance for my energy state because I am aware. I'm so aware of it. And it goes back to what I said yesterday about how I'm so envious of people who don't succumb to their emotional or like physiological shitty state and like latch onto that, you know? That's crazy. I not only do I do that in these types of like, you know, situations where I'm talking to someone or I'm meeting with someone and I have to exchange energy, but I think I do that so much with my husband where today I for like 15 minutes I was talking to him about this like cut that I have on my finger where the skin on my finger like split and it really hurts, you know? And I was telling him, oh, they started as little like finger bubbles and I started popping them and then eventually it like turned into all this dry skin and it split the tip of my finger and it really hurts and it really stings. And when I was eating tangerines last night, like the juice got in and it was really stinging. And yeah, I do that. I talk so much about my little boo-boos. How embarrassing. Ah, okay. Well, that's really weird. Um, so another thing that I really wanted to do as part of my journey with OP is I think I really need to start asking the people around me about my demons. And obviously I'm not going to word it that way because they're not going to understand what demons means, but like just a really, really like honest and candid answer of, hey, what do I do that like really annoys or pisses you off? Like what does the family say behind my back that I suck at or like that makes me a shitty person? And that's going to be really interesting. I am actually dying to know. Like I know that I don't know, most people probably wouldn't want to hear that, but like I'm so curious. Like I really want to know what it is. And but then like I know like the best thing to do is ask like maybe 10 people, but like I'm thinking I don't really have that many people that I can ask. So if anything, I'm probably gonna have to ask like just my husband, my brother, my mom, and my dad. That's four. But oh well, I mean that's a start, and hopefully they'll be honest with me. I do have concerns about whether they'll try to soften the blow because you know I am pretty sensitive. So maybe I'll try to take a guess at what they're gonna say and and see if I'm right or if I'm totally like demoning or peacocking something in my mind. So that'll be an interesting experiment. If I ask my brother, well, I feel like he's gonna say that I'm very selfish. I think what he means is self-centered because everything does kind of revolve around me and my world, and that makes a lot of sense because you know I am very high in introverted feeling, and I'm also a double masculine sleep savior, which means that my inner world is so vivid and important to me. So that's like the world that I live in, basically. And so I know that for people, for other people, it must be so frustrating and um, because I don't, you know, just reach out to people. Like it's almost like everybody needs to pull me out in order for me to interact. So even with my family, like I've lived on you know, in California and Boston and Portland for a while away from them. And even though I'm back here now in Hawaii with them, I'm sure they probably thought that I was gonna you know, spend a lot more time with them, like hang out with them, do things, but like I'm really in my own world. And unless they invite me out to like dinner or lunch or something, like I'm never the person to initiate it. I'm always the person to just kind of show up. And when I do show up, I don't really show up with anything. I don't know if that like upsets people. Maybe it upsets my mom because I'm guessing that she's high in FE. So she's always the type of person that no matter what, she would like, you know, come with like a fruit platter or like something that she baked or just something thoughtful or you know, something like that. But for me, it's very hard to remember to do those types of things. So almost in every situation, like I'll just kind of show up and like obviously when I'm there, we all interact and it's really fun and it's cool and I don't regret it at all. I love hanging out with my family. I know that there's a part of me that probably should reach out more. Like I should really be texting, I should be calling my mom, I should be, you know, like taking them out to dinners and stuff. But like I just don't, I don't know why. I think like I hate bothering people. I'm so low energy to begin with that like one event in my day where I have to go out and do something is so incredibly exhausting. And so I do try to preserve my energy a lot by uh, purposely making myself inaccessible. Maybe I never really thought about it that way, but that could totally be what's happening. So I think that if I were to ask my family, I would guess that that is what they would say, is that I'm very self-centered in that I don't think about other people and yeah, something along those lines. I can't quite articulate it because I don't really know. Yeah, so I'm very curious to hear what my actual demons are because I am serious about wanting to improve and I am serious about wanting to be more aware of those types of things. And I guess one thing that I am kind of excited about is that in I think in one video, Dave and Shan say that consistently the top performers of their class have actually been SIFI. And if that is what I am, then I can totally see that because I am quite obsessed about learning everything, like absolutely everything. Like I'm so aware that in order for me to even understand this portion, I have to know these little building blocks so intimately. Otherwise, it could ruin the entire thing, right? Like I don't like I have to understand absolutely every little component. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point? And gosh, that makes so much sense because even with my schoolwork, I've always thought that I would overdo things. Like you know, when the professor assigns like a module and a chapter reading, most people will kind of skim it, underline things, and then kind of move on to the assignment. But for me, it was like I had to read absolutely everything and take such excessive notes and understand absolutely everything. Otherwise, like by the time we moved on to the next thing, I would have no idea what was going on. And I always thought that that had something to do with like my inattentive ADD, which now I realize probably comes from my double masculine savior sleep. Because I'm always in my inner world. So it was a big problem for me, like in school, when, for example, the teacher would be talking about like the history lesson, and I would of course not be paying attention. I to this day I can't pay attention. I can't if someone is talking about something boring, like I can't I don't know what's going on. I'm literally in my own head or just so upset that I have to be there listening to it that I'm like probably it shows all over my face that I'm pissed off that I'm there. And it's because I can't stand being there and having to be forced fed this information that's not interesting to me at all. But yeah, that all of that makes sense now. Yeah, and even like my work process, my creative process, everything, um, I I've always thought that I tended to take the roundabout way where it's so slow and thorough. And I always thought to myself, how do other people not have to go through those steps in order to advance? You know, it's like how like yeah, I guess my point is that I really am overly thorough about things when it comes to like learning or doing something. I think, I don't know. This has all been such a crazy experience, and on top of it, so I shared my type that I received, which is the MF SIFI, sleep consume blast play. I shared that with my friend who got me into OP, and he's also still convinced that I am a FINE, because I don't know. I guess I just scream INFP, which I still think I do. But when I shared that with him, he said, "Oh, the people who videotyped me like definitely got it wrong." And so I'm still I'm still confused as to what I am. And if I'm being honest, I a lot of the people on the sheets and stuff that I kind of like scrolled through, I haven't really found like anyone who like specifically resonates with me. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but there's still that part of me that feels like I'm pretty close to Kurt Cobain, and I still want to objectively type him. Like I know for a fact that he is like very mopey, like so mopey, and he was always talking about his stomach problems, which is super funny now because that definitely comes from his probably his masculine sleep. Is he was always like complaining about his state, and maybe because he was so low energy, he just got addicted to drugs and stuff, because I definitely have gone down that path where in order to escape my low energy state and to be able to just exist or interact with people, like I love like substances and drugs for that reason. um yeah, I'm very curious to type Kurt Cobain. And also another person that I think I might be kind of similar to, but maybe the animals are just like stacked differently, is Jen Im, from YouTube. And there's see, like I can't explain it. I'm gonna have to go into the little building blocks to like really prove this. But she's also another person where I kind of, when I hear her speak and the way she tells her stories and stuff, I think to myself like, ooh, we might be pretty similar. And she's grown up on YouTube, and so she's a lot more chirpy and energetic and all of that, which is why I say our animals are probably different. But yeah, she is someone that's like just as introspective, self-aware, creative, and 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 just the way she thinks and her decisiveness on all her favorite things and stuff really, there's something about it, right? Like that's kind of how I've always worked, is like I will notice similarities that I will then have to go back later and then prove out. So I think this is going to be one of those situations where right now I am calling it that I am probably very similar to Kurt Cobain and Jen Im, and I'd like to prove it. But if I'm wrong, then like that's okay too, like this will be all the more interesting for having documented it and like just treating this as an overall experiment, I guess. Yeah, this has all been so interesting. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop the video here. I realized that, you know, the point of these videos was really for me to practice speaking, because I wanted to, in the future, be able to put out like YouTube content, or um, you know, like so in the future, my dream career is to become a psychedelic therapist. And because psychedelics is really going to be like a new frontier in like the next 5 to 10 years, I'd like to be at the forefront of that, to be able to speak on it, and to yeah, I guess to just be like a speaker or writer or influencer or something on it. And so that was kind of my driving motivation in doing these videos, is I want to get better at speaking. So anyway, that was the whole point. But now it's more like a just like a daily journey on my OP typing, and how my mind is just blown every single day. So I realized maybe this is not like the best content for people on YouTube to be watching, because it is really just me and my journey, and like, how is that even interesting to you? But yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, this is all blowing my mind. If you have any if you have any insight or observations, like in my past videos, I talked about being FINE. I talked about possibly being Savior TI. I talked about possibly being E over I. If you have any like gut feelings about, no, you definitely exude this, or you definitely show signs of this, like, please tell me, because really the more people I talk to, and the more I learn about this, the more confused I get, which is fine. It's fun. This whole journey is fun, right? Like I love the shit out of it. Like last night, I was up until 2 just watching these videos, because they just blow my mind and they're so fun. And so anyway, if you have any insights about my animals or my functions, please tell me. I'm dying to know. I'm dying to talk to someone about it. And I would love to meet someone, or just observe someone who is the exact same type of me as me, because I've never met anyone yet. I'm not saying that I'm special. I know they're out there, but how cool it would be to watch someone like on camera and know, like, holy shit, like, we have the exact same functions in animals. Like, that is so cool. And like I've said, like, ever since I was small, I've always felt so separate from the tribe. And so I think the idea that there are other people that are exactly like me is like so exciting. So I can't wait to find them and meet them and hear them speak. And oh, and then lastly, one thing I will say is that, because um, most people tend to type themselves as their demons, um, and then it turns out it's like completely opposite. Maybe like Myers-Briggs is valid in that sense, where like people like me are always all day long going to type themselves as INFP. Um, but if INFP equals objective personality ISTJ with a skipped function, then maybe there's some type of validity to that, you know? Like, that's just one way of getting to your actual objective personality, if that makes sense. Like, I know that obviously not everybody is gonna have that correct Myers-Briggs type, um, but if there's like some stereotypical Myers-Briggs type that they think they are, and that everyone thinks they are, then maybe that corresponds to the flipped, like in my instance, ISTJ with a skip function. I don't know. That's just something I was thinking. But okay, I'm gonna stop here, because I feel like that was a lot of me just rambling. I do that all the time. I say that all the time. Like, I apologize for like not like being clear and understandable. Is that a thing? I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'm already excited for tomorrow, because I know I'm gonna learn something new, and uncover something new that's going to blow my mind, and then I'll just document it here again tomorrow. Okay, all right. Thank you for watching this ridiculous video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.